somewhere in the global south, in a bad country, as is normal in this hemisphere. Pray for the cell phone. The cell phone is falling apart. Ah! Something like that. Well, let's read some news. Bitter criticism. Bitter criticism. AK. Yeah, why AK, isn't it? AK is the same thing as... I don't know what exactly is AK actually. I'm saying AK because of the gun, the rifle. Well, let's read some news. I'm going to try to read this news from CGTN about Peru, because it's close to us. Yeah, Venezuela and stuff. First, I'm going to read this news from CGTN about Venezuela. To the ages, China and Venezuela's unbreakable bond shines anew. As I was saying in other video, I will upload this in, I forgot the word. China, Xi Jinping have relations with Peruvian right-wing teacher, not president. Right-wing. I have a technical problem with Mursi here. Mursi is afraid of the sea. Mursi is afraid of the sound of the sea. What about that? And I just don't want she to pull my camera down. So Xi Jinping, as a Chinese president, he actually has relations with every president, no matter who is, and he don't care. You know, he just want lithium. Peru has lithium. Maybe that's why I'm gonna read now on CGTN. I'm not sure what the news brings, but there's another news. Through the ages, China and Venezuela's unbreakable bond shines anew. Opinion, June 28th, maybe yesterday, 2024, Lang Hu. Editor's note. Decision Makers is a global platform for decision makers decision makers to share their insights on events shaping today's world. Lang Hu is the ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. The article reflects the author's opinions and not necessarily the views of CGTN. June 28 this year marks a major milestone, the 5th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Venezuela. Recently, celebrations of the anniversary were held across various sectors in both countries, reflecting the sincere friendship between the two nations that has stood the test for a time and has remained resilient amidst the ever-changing global landscape. The dynamic and practical we have a problem here. Because Mursi will drop my camera, you know, if she continues like that. Anyway, she is afraid of the sea, that beautiful sea. Mursi hates the sea. Recently, celebrations of the anniversary of the anniversary were held across various sectors in both countries, reflecting the sincere friendship between the two nations that has stood the test of time and has remained resilient amidst the ever-changing global landscape. The dynamic and practical cooperation between China and Venezuela is widely praised for its vitality and bright prospects. Through changing times, the commitment of deepening political trust between China and Venezuela has remained steadfast. Since establishing diplomatic ties, both countries have engaged actively in multi-level exchanges in politics, economy, trade and culture, thereby deepening mutual understanding at the dawn of the new millennium. Former Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez proposed to prioritize comprehensive and friendship cooperation with China as a key component of Venezuela's government agenda, leading to a rapid enhancement of bilateral relations over the past decade under the leadership of President Xi Jinping and President Nicolás Maduro. Both countries have deepened understanding and mutual recognition of one another's political systems, and have reaffirmed support in exploring development paths well suited for national realities. This has led to comprehensive cooperation in various sectors, and bilateral relations have evolved from a comprehensive strategic partnership to an all-weather strategic partnership, a significant leap that has raised the bilateral relationship to one of trusted friends who are committed partners in development and steadfast comrades in strategic cooperation. Well, this is a pretty institutional article. I don't love it. I'm just gonna read the next paragraph, which is huge. Despite various challenges, the deep friendship between China and Venezuela, characterized by unity, cooperation, and mutual support, remains unchanged. When faced with risks and difficulties, both countries have consistently stood by each other, supporting one another on issues concerning each other's core interests. Venezuela stands firmly with China on issues related to Taiwan, Hong Kong, Xinjiang, and Xizang, echoing calls for justice. I'm pretty ignorant, you know. I know how Taiwan, everybody knows Taiwan. I know Hong Kong, everybody knows Hong Kong, I guess. Xinjiang, despite I'm reading a lot of articles from Xinjiang, I have zero idea what is the issue. And Xizang, what the hell is the issue with Xizang? I don't. Echoing calls for justice. China strongly opposes the unilateral sanctions imposed by the US on Venezuela and supports Venezuela in upholding sovereignty, national dignity, and social stability. China has also provided material aid and has shared developmental experience to help Venezuela address challenges related to the livelihood of the people. Over the years, both governments have engaged in practical cooperation in key areas such as infrastructure, technology, energy, healthcare, education, and poverty reduction, striving to meet citizens' aspirations for a better life and ensuring social stability and general well-being. The friendship between China and Venezuela has proven robust in the face of adversity, thus cementing a truly ironclad bond. You know, the article gets better. Despite the changing circumstances, China and Venezuela remain steadfast in their united efforts to uphold international justice and promote development. Both countries classified developing nations. Both countries classified as developing nations and emerging economies share a broad spectrum of common interests and similar positions on international affairs. Both sides are united by a common desire to promote peace, cooperation and development, aiming to build an open, inclusive, clean and beautiful new world that enjoys universal security and common prosperity. Yeah, the article is an CGTN article saying that China is a... Yeah, maybe we are living in a humble epoch. Everybody wants to be poor. Yesterday or 2 days ago, Trump says United States is a third world country. I guess not the same thing. I'm reading here. Anyway, faced with changes unseen in a century and global developmental challenges, China and Venezuela continue to work together with a vision to build a community with a shared future for mankind, to promote the implementation of 3 major global initiatives proposed by China, aim to establish a new type of international relations, practice genuine multilateralism, and jointly defend the international order. Peace and stability. China and Venezuela consistently echo mutual calls for peaceful resolutions on international issues like the Russia-Ukraine conflict and call for a ceasefire in Gaza, positioning themselves as pivotal forces in the global quest for sustainable development and the maintenance of world peace and stability. Well, there's more, but yeah, I guess I'm going to read everything. Yeah. About Venezuela and China. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro speaks during the 17th meeting of the Mixed Venezuela-China High-Level Committee in Beijing, capital city of China, September 13, 2023. The past 20 years have enriched the deep friendship between China and Venezuela, creating strong bonds between the peoples of the two countries and paving the way for a bright future of pragmatic cooperation. China and Venezuela share a solid foundation of mutual trust, robust cooperation mechanisms, and highly complementary advantages. The state visit by President Nicolas Maduro to China in 2023 witnesses the signing of over 30 agreements. These agreements mark the beginning of a new era of enhanced cooperation featuring higher standards, deeper engagement, and broader fields. Currently, the two countries are engaged in close cooperation and exchanges at various levels, with steady progress in traditional sectors such as trade and infrastructure, as well as in emerging industries like e-commerce, aerospace and aviation, and energy transition. It is believed that these collaborative efforts will yield increased benefits for the peoples of both countries and create more opportunities for social development. Simón Bolívar, the liberator of South America and the founding father of Venezuela, once said, "La amistad es mi pasión." Friendship is my passion, which literally means friendship is my passion. What a crazy guy. What a statement, isn't it? Friendship is my passion. Yeah, who don't? Everybody loves friendship. We believe that peoples of China and Venezuela, with half a century of sincere friendship as a solid foundation of relations and a powerful drive for action, will implement the important consensus reached by the heads of state of both countries by continuing the move forward hand in hand with determination. China and Venezuela are sure to create greater splendor and brilliance over the next 50 years. If you want to contribute and have specific expertise, please contact us at Opinion CGTN. They never answer me. Never answer me. Oh no, and we have right now we have the news I was waiting for. Mursi, it's just the sea, nigga, man. It's just the sea, baby. Relax, Mursi, relax. Cross-Pacific handshake against geopolitical turmoil. Opinion, June 27, 3 days ago. Fu Li Yuan. Look, we have the half of the face of Xi Jinping's girlfriend. Xi Jinping now has a Peruvian girlfriend. His name is Dina Ercilla Boluarte Zegara. Well, she was how to say it, coup d'etatist. Coup d'etatist. I don't know how to say that. Well, she is from the far right, I guess. Well, she is a traitor of the previous president. Previous president was better. Was a leftist, I guess. People say that he was too humble, too naive, But right now, this woman is really a right winger. She just killed like 100 Peruvians. That's the whole truth about Peru and China. China just don't care. Peruvian President Dina Ercilla Boluarte Sagara, Lima, Peru. A photograph. Editor's note: Fu Li Yuan, a special commentator on current affairs for CGTN, is a research assistant in the Department of Latin American and Caribbean Studies of the China Institute of International Studies, CIIS. The article reflects the author's opinion and not necessarily the views of CGTN. Peruvian President Dina Ercilla Boluarte Zegara started her 5-day state visit to China this week. She is the first Peruvian leader to visit China in 8 years, following her first stop in Shenzhen in South China's Guangdong province. Boluarte will travel to other... I prefer Shandong, not Shenzhen. Shandong, there's a lot of brewery plants, but I'm just gonna read the article. Boluarte will travel to other Chinese cities, including Shanghai and Suzhou in East China's Jiangsu province, as well as Beijing. China and Peru established diplomatic ties on November 2nd, 1971. Now, as comprehensive strategic partners, China-Peru bilateral cooperation is gaining momentum in an unprecedented way. Boluarte's visit to China marks a milestone in China-Peru cooperation, not only because it is expected to deepen bilateral political trust and elevate economic cooperation, but it also demonstrates that this friendship can stand the test of geopolitical turmoil in an era of uncertainty. Peru is now the fourth largest trading partner. To China among Latin American countries. Among Latin American countries. Following the 7th round of Free Trade Agreement (FTA) negotiations this month, China-Peru trade is picking up steam. According to Latin American magazine America Economia, Peruvian exports to China exceeded $25 billion in 2023, with a 13 billion trade surplus, a great leap in comparison to 2008 that totaled only $3.55 billion. So $10 billion more. The fact that Peru's economic prospects are bouncing back also adds up to the optimism. The Central Reserve Bank of Peru raised its economic growth forecast for the nation from 3% to 3.1% this week. China has been Peru's main trading partner for years, with Peru's copper, silver, zinc, and iron well received products in the Chinese market. Peru also boasts a notable presence in Chinese markets with products like fishing and agricultural products, textiles and chemicals. Apart from that, Shanghai Port Complex mega projects sponsored by and constructed mainly by Costco Shipping is one of the signature projects in Latin America under the Belt and Road Initiative, with plans for its inauguration in November. Once completed, the travel time by sea between Shanghai and Shanghai will be shortened to around 20 days, making it a new cross-Pacific shipping artery and a good opportunity to travel for free, I guess. No, I don't think so. You know, I made that research if there's possible to travel in cargo ships. It is not possible anymore, I guess. I mean, it was YouTube. I found it in YouTube. We have a photograph from Shanghai Port in Peru, picture in 2022, hangs alongside clear coastal waters. It's beautiful. And you know, back in Dilma Rousseff time in Brazil, there was a lot of initiatives like this by Odebrecht, and well, Belt and Road Initiative, Costco ship something is just the same thing, but China is powerful, more powerful than Brazil, and well, this subcontinent is pretty mess, you know. If a country like Peru has suffered a coup d'état and then starts doing well, like is doing, maybe it's fine, you know, maybe it's better. Who knows? CGTN is saying Peru and China is doing well. It is inevitable that bilateral cooperation that carries such strategic weight attract doubts and even interference. The US government has reiterated its concerns about the Shanghai Port Complex. US Southern Command General Laura Richardson rhetoric. This May has made the US point clear. China's presence in South America's strategic port poses a major concern for Washington. Such mentality dates back to the Donald Trump administration, where the US unveiled its intention of strategic competition against China. Latin America even thought, having been marginalized from US foreign policy since the Cold War period, stands out as a new battlefield due to its geopolitical adjacency to the US territory, with the traffic through the Panama Canal reduced by 40% in recent years as a result of climate change. American elites are constantly on the alert about China-Latin America relations. China-Latin America cooperation. Well, this article is just too huge, but I'm going to read anyway. Building a megaport has been in the core interest for the Peruvian government, as it will help extend Peru's trade circle to the Asia-Pacific region. In response to U.S. concerns, Peruvian Foreign Minister Javier González Olleachea said, if the US is concerned about China's expanding influence in Peru, then it should step up its own investments, adding that everyone is welcome to invest. U.S. 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 founded projects are present all over the world, but not so much in Latin America. It's like a very important friend who spends a little time with us, González Olaechea said. Peruvian foreign minister. Well, I guess the ministers just remained there, you know. I guess the president went away, but the ministers stayed there. This comment was great, you know. It was a nationalist comment, and well, despite disputes and interferences, shared values and interests have brought China and Peru closer. To Peru, solid bilateral cooperation with China means economic and trade growth, globalization of local industries, more jobs and better lives. To China, cooperation helps to expand its footprint and better connect Chinese enterprises in the Latin American market. China and Peru cooperation will still has untapped potentials on Peru's way to meet its green development goals. Chinese companies such as GAC Group and China Wanse Power Co. Limited can continue to help Peru fulfill its goals. This November, Peru will be hosting for the third time the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC Summit, organizing more than 160 seminars where Peruvian and Chinese companies can cooperate in terms of technology, logistics, and so forth. Boluarte's visit is an opportunity that cannot be missed to enhance cooperation between China and Peru, which is in the interest of not only the two countries but the rest of the world. So, what is a fact? When the coup d'etat came into Peru, a lot of people died, you know. A lot of people fight the coup. The coup just happened. But right now looks like the coup was an exaggeration, you know. Or maybe the president was really bad. Who knows, you know. The question is, Peru is doing well. Peru is doing well with China. Peru and China are doing well together. That's the news. Well, and let's read more. And you know, China don't even understand what happened in Peru, you know, or China don't even care because of population size. Yeah, it's just a projection, you know. Maybe what China wants is lithium, and right now China has Bolivia as a partner. I have another one, look. Uncle Sam's Fair Play cartoon. There's a cartoon over here. Well, this is a short one from CGTN. As reported by Reuters, the US government has opened an investigation into China Mobile, China Telecom, and China Unicom, citing risks to US national security. However, Reuters noted that there is no evidence of any wrongdoing by these companies. The US government has long abused the concept of national security to target Chinese enterprises, disrupting the market and violating fair competition. But the U.S. sees itself as impartial and fair, in sweeping sanctions on all these companies, just so long as they are Chinese. Well, and now we will have a read news from CGTN. CGTN special. CGTN special on Latin America. China is invading Latin America. Yeah, I'm very, very critical about Latin people. They are kind of too emotional, too emotional. They are not rational at all. There are people, I was listening to this podcast from this news channel on YouTube. It's a great channel, I like them. They made daily news and comments. And they make daily news and comments. Interview right-wing people or left-wing people. Is a left-wing channel. But yeah, no. They said that there are Latin people, there are Spaniard people who believe there's a Chinese behind his bed. But what's the problem with Chinese? Like, my opinion, China is the best thing. 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, bedrock of just global, bedrock of just global order. Bedrock, yeah. Opinion, Mujahid Hussein Sayed. The conference marking the 70th anniversary of the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence is held in Beijing, capital of China, June 28. Editor's note: Mujahid Hussein Sayed, a special commentator on current affairs for CGTN, is chairman of the Pakistan Senate Defense Committee and the host of CGTN's show Global South Voices. On April 2015, President Xi Jinping conferred the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence friendship award on him for this contribution in promoting coexistence, friendship, of promoting. I lost myself. Mursi's gonna drop the camera. Mursi. Mursi, mira, por acá. Vamos. Pasa. No. Ya, pues Mursi, pasa. President Xi Jinping conferred the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence friendship award on him for his contribution in promoting the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence through his writings and work on Pakistan-China friendship and Asian solidarity. This is the fourth part of a two-part article. The article reflects the author's opinion and not necessarily the views of CGTN. A huge article. So I guess I'm not gonna read it. It's too big. I lost the article. I found the article again now. Yeah, and says like that. No, Well, 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, bedrock or of just global order. At the height of the Cold War in 1954, with the world divided into two hostile camps, Chinese wisdom based on centuries of civilization that contributed to global growth, to ideas and initiatives, were evident in the enunciation of the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. This was truly a landmark diplomatic level development. Promoted by one of the most suave. What? Suave? It says suave, look. Look, it's in English, but suave. How to read that? Suave. This is a Spanish word. It's like soft, suave. Anyway, it's interesting because the Chinese doesn't commit this kind of mistakes. Sophisticated and brilliant diplomats of the post-World War II era, the then Chinese Premier and Foreign Minister Zhou Enlai, the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence have retained their relevance for 70 years as the bedrock of interstate relations. Their relevance and universal appeal, even today, stem for a number of factors. They seek relationships based on a principled position of respecting the independence of states and upholding non-interference in internal affairs. They promote the resolution of disputes through peaceful means, ensuring the use of force, and they have a morally strong, firm foundation that irrespective of size or strength, ties between countries have to be based on mutual respect and sovereign equality. A year after the enunciation of the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, 1955 in 1955, leaders of 29 countries in Asia and Africa met in Bandung, Indonesia, to give their stamp of approval to these 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. It's no accident that Premier Zhou was the star of the show, in Bandung emerging as an international statesman with vision, reflecting the fact that the People's Republic of China, under the leadership of the Communist Party of China, was now destined to play a pivotal role in reshaping not only Asian but eventually global politics as well. 70 years later, looking at the big picture, the world is in turbulence, but is also going through an unprecedented transformation. As Chinese President Xi Jinping aptly put it, the world today is undergoing major changes unseen in a century. The end of the Cold War ushered in an era of unipolarity that is now appearing to give way to a multipolarity in a new Cold War setting. The possibilities inherent in the unipolar era are rapidly being replaced by uncertainties and risks of global rivalry, couched in palatable terms such as strategic competition. The once self-proclaimed sole superpower, the United States, is having a sobering realization of the rise of global challengers on its political, military, technological, and economic hegemony, as the world becomes multipolar, requiring a multilateral response. For the first time in centuries, a non-Western countries has seriously challenged the scientific and technological dominance of the West, and the growing realization of the closing gap between the two is rankling with the cohort of the US-led Western advanced industrial nations. We have a photograph of the US The US Capitol building is shrouded in haze in Washington, D.C. Three fundamental shifts in the contemporary world order are apparent. First, the decline of the West and the concurrent rise of the global South are described in an article in The Economist, which apply terms it the post-World War II liberal international order seems to be coming apart. Second, China's phenomenal rise, particularly in advanced areas of science and technology, is a force multiplier in its quest to spearhead the emergence of an alternative world order that is not based on the fading hegemony of the West, but upholding the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. Harvard University published a research report in 2021 titled "The Great Tech Rivalry: China versus the United States," which noted that China has become a serious competitor against the US in high-tech manufacturing, artificial intelligence, AI, 5G, quantum information science, semiconductors, biotechnology, and green energy, and that China on its way to overtake the US in some disciplines. A story in the June 15 edition of The Economist called "China, a Scientific Superpower," concluding that the old science world order dominated by America, Europe, and Japan is coming to an end. It cites some interesting facts in this regard. 40% of research papers on AI are now emanating from China, with only about 10% from the US and another 15% from the EU and the UK combined. Out of the top 10 scientific research universities, 6 are in China. And Tsinghua University, the alma mater of President Xi Jinping, is the top university in the world in science and technology today. Well, this article it got kind of messy but I will finish later. The fact is, he was talking about principles and then ended up talking about how China rocks. I don't disagree, but that's the fact. Well, I'm sorry, Chilean people, they are too like this, too critical. I'm not pride. I have no pride on this, but that's the whole truth. We are always criticizing. We are. I don't like this country. I want to go to China. I was listening to this podcast, and well, I'm not sure if I say this. I meet a woman, a pretty negative woman, on my social media, my Facebook. I will not say the name of this Chilean woman. She was in the interview. Well, I cannot say enough how I don't like Chilean people. I prefer Brazilian people, And there we go. That was all about today's sunset. Well, this was the woman, a leftist, a communist one, commenting on Bolivia. Well, as you can note, they got late. They got a little late. This Hispanic media. They supposedly, the world has a lot of media, left media, but there's no lot of channels, a lot of political channels Hispanic. There was this Mexican guy. I don't remember. Well, there's some channels, but this is a new one. It's from Spain, and he interviewed a lot of people from all over Spanish. It's a Spanish channel. So I know this woman, and well, this woman is always negative, and well, I guess she's from Santiago, the capital of this shithole. Milu, mira. This shithole, and she's so negative, and well, this Santiago people from the capital, she said, if you have an opinion, open a school, you should open a school to give your opinion. What the hell? And Santiago people, they say some things like that. I'm talking about the elite people of this fucking shithole. This shithole Chile has a capital, which is Santiago. That should be the best place in this fucking shithole. But the fact is, they are the worst. They are the terrible worst. This was always a shithole, and now it looks like it's in decadence. Because what happened? Oh, let's see the. I forgot this. But I hate these Chilean people. I hate these Chilean people so much. If there be a war, no matter who is making a war against these fucking people. Oh, we cannot see the light. Well, I will come here just to help to kill them. Yeah, if you want to give your opinion, you should open a school. That's what this more decadent than the Ottoman Empire at the end, more decadent than the Chinese with the opium, more decadent than Rome, more decadent than the US fucking Chilean rats.